So that was just sort of it was an evolution process with me that, again, that helped me lead into a place where I was comfortable teaching.
Okay, so let's grab a victim.
Let's grab a victim.
Try. Stand down now. What's your name?
Aaron.
Aaron.
I'm going to pour for everybody, I think,
Okay,
right?
Sure.
So we'll let Erin do her thing, and I'll just.
So let's make sure she does it right first. So
all right. Yes.
Let's see if she paid attention, everybody. Okay. So what do we got to do first here?
I'm all nervous.
Swirl it around, right? Okay.
Swirl it around. A couple of quick sniffs.
Okay.
Okay. And you put it in here, and bring it up to your lips. Make a little trough. Can you make a trough with your tongue?
It's good.
I don't know if she did the breathe out through the nose thing.
I don't know. Thank you very much. Stand up, sir. We'll have a guy try it.
Hold it out in front of you. I don't want to spill on you.
Swirl it around. There you go. Give it a sniff.
Thank you.
Gargle it. Now, what's your first impression of this?
Fruity.
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 Is that good enough descriptive word, Greg, or?
It's very good.
Okay.
If you look at the back label, that's one of the first things it says.
There you go.
The wine,
job, sir. Give him a hand on that.
The winemaker would be happy to know that you said that.
Card, you got your. Stand up, Martha. Did you try it yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What did you think?
I agree with him. It tasted fruity. It tastes a little bit like a Cabernet.
Okay. Have you drinking wine before?
Yes.
Okay. So what was your impression of this wine compared to other wines you've drinking?
Oh, it's very good. It has doesn't have a acid type of. It seems like it's low acid and it's been breathed properly before I drank it.
Okay.
And it has nice sheeting on the glass.
Did that help to smell it and
The
then?
directions that this fellow gave helped because when I did tried to do the little thing with the trough, it actually made like fumes come up in my nasal cavity, so I can see where that really helps the tasting of it.
Okay. Have you done that before when you've gone?
I just tried it today.
Okay. So that's very helpful. Now, how much did something like this cost? This kind of wine?
This wine is about a $14 bottle.
That's it. $14.
Yeah.
And everyone has a serving for $14. So that's a pretty good price. So let's get some reactions over here. Stand on up. So what's your name?
Angie.
Okay, Angie. What did you think?
Very good. Very good. First time I had learned how to gargle it and swallow it and breathe out my nose.
Did that help?
It did help. It did help. I can taste it through my nose. And it was really, I was impressed.
It's called a retronasal. So the retronasal part is very important. Yeah.
Over here.
Thank
Stand
you.
on up. What's your name?
Gedge.
Gedge. Okay. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good. It's very grapey and a little peppery.
Grapey and peppery.
That's her tasting language. That's
Okay.
that's what I try to teach my class. My classes is that I want them to develop a vocabulary about their tasting that suits them. I really don't think that they should read a magazine and try to copy some of those snobby things in some of the wine publications. I think that people should use language that they understand.
And I understand it. So actually, my son's fiance took a wine course at SCC. So we sat around one night clarifying everything, and it got 6 bottles of wine and sat down and wrote down the color, the clarity, the smell, the crispness, the flavors, what we thought, etc. So it was quite an enjoyable evening.
I
bet.
Some people would agree with you and some wouldn't, but I think that's it's really a nice way to get together with other people and have some fun and learn something about wine to do it that way.
Yes, and that's what we did. We bought one from every different country and different flavors and determined what we would buy again and what we didn't, and each of us had our own flavors, so I really enjoyed it. But I've never done the breathe out the nose part. That was a little difficult for me, but I did enjoy it, though.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. And, you know, you don't really need me. You already know how to learn about wine.
There you go. Now, when we go to drink the next one, does this desensitize? How do you say it? Desensitize? I can't even say it.
Yeah, you said it.
I said
Desensitized.
it. Our nose. Our nose. Our mouth.
I don't think so.
I don't even have any wine. You see that?
The more time you take between tastes and, you know, nobody here had enough to really to numb their senses. You know, we just
Okay.
had a little sample. And so that's
But
fine.
if you've had a entire glass, that might affect the next wine you take.
I mean, you know, something that we mentioned earlier, your nose and your sensory gets very, very tired very easily if you sort of overburden it.
Okay.
So as long as you space things out,
Okay.
and of course, at some level, if you become inebriated enough, your senses get duller.
Okay. Yeah, I bet. That's when you're drunk, right? Okay.
Well,
so
just tasting, like because I've done work in associated with wine where I'm really looking at wine in a very critical way. One of the things that I've done as part of my current work is evaluating wines either for the winery itself when we're putting together wines to be bottled, because there are different lots of wine that are blended. For instance, this wine, I could tell a whole story about how we blended this wine and the different types of wine that went into it. And there are several different wines in here that made it into one wine blend. But I literally don't really drink much wine when I'm doing that kind of tasting. I spit most of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's try the next
Because
wine.
of sensory overload.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that you can really take it in and taste it. Right. Okay, and what's the next one? What's
Salud.
the next one? Oh, there you go. Swallow the rest of it, everybody.
Oh,
What's this one?
this one is actually not labeled, but it is from the same winery. This is their most recent bottling of a varietal red wine grape called Léon Millot. It's a French hybrid grape that does well in the cold winters of the Northeast and the Midwest.
Okay.
And
You want to start this way this time?
I will. Just let me make sure that there are no problems.
Test it out for us. Are we good?
We are good.
We are good. Okay, we'll start over here.
No complaints yet, as Groucho Marx
Stand
used to
down.
say.
What's your name?
Beverly.
Beverly. Okay. Show us how you do it. There you go.
Swirl it a little bit first, and then 2 sniffs,
You're welcome.
and then drink.
Sure.
Gargle. Gargle drink. Now, what's your reaction? Now, comparing the first one with this one, was there a difference?
Yes, this is has more acidity. It tastes a little sharper.
A little sharper. Which one did you prefer, the first one or this one?
First.
Okay.
I'm going to finish this one.
I bet you are. I bet you are. How would you describe this one? The taste.
Let me taste.
Okay, taste the beer.
Sure.
It's like it's like a pale, very light, more acidic but lighter.
What about flavor-wise? Is it fruity? Is it, use the word sharp?
I can't really, other than sharp, I really can't say.
Is it difficult sometimes to describe wine?
Yeah. Well, you know, she's working through it pretty well. And
Okay.
again, you know, I want people to develop their own language within
To
a
really
certain
think about it.
within a certain parameter. I mean, there are obviously some words that are helpful and some that aren't.
Okay.
In other words, what I tell students and people that are interested in wine is, good doesn't tell you anything. Why is it good?
Why is it good? Okay.
You know, that kind of thing. Be as specific as you can, but be as brief as you can in language that you understand.
Okay, let's get another over here. Stand on up. Stand up for us. Are you shy? What's your name?
Courtney.
Courtney. Okay. What did you think? Comparing the first one with the next one, what did you think?
I like the first one better. I thought this one was a little bit more bitter. more dry. Not really my cup of tea, but just like Beverly, I will finish this and probably hers too.
Okay, and do you have a certain taste that you would describe it as, like fruity, sharp? She used the word sharp. Would you say sharp?
I see where she's going.
You
with
said
that.
bitter.
Yeah.
You did say bitter.
Yeah, it definitely was bitter. I don't know. I guess more along the lines of like a vinegary taste, I guess.
Have you ever heard that before?
It's probably not a real word. I know it's
No, it's a word. It's certainly a word, but I guess as a wine instructor, I'd say that while there are some sense, all wines have acetic acid, which is vinegar, just as a product of the fermentation of the grape juice. But vinegar and this are quite different from one another. They're just there's just a different chemical composition to vinegar that, while this might remind you of it, is not quite vinegar.
But we all taste different things. I mean, our taste
Well,
buds-
and Courtney may have a higher, threshold. Actually, she has a lower threshold possibly for that taste.
Okay, thank you, Courtney. Okay, stand on up. I know you, Helen.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think?
Actually, I'm going to get thrown out of here.
Uh-oh,
I
we're gonna
didn't
kick
like
her out.
either One because
Oh, you didn't like either one.
I was raised on Sauterne as a youngster,
Okay.
and Sauterne is a white wine. And my father said he didn't care what red wines go with red meats. We always had Sauterne.
Do you have a reaction to that, Greg?
That's great. I think what people enjoy is what they should drink.
Well, it was the only thing I ever knew. So a red wine, I thought, well, I'll try it, but it's not for me. It's not. No.
But your daughter will finish it up for you, right?
finish it.
Okay, good. Stand on up. What's your name?
D.
D, what did you think?
Well, I found it a little deceiving because when I smelled it, I thought it was going to be a sweet wine, but when I tasted it, it definitely is not a sweet wine. It's something that, in the past, I would describe like dry. My mouth felt like a little bit of a pucker.
Yep.
Like a dry, like you said, how it can make your teeth, like your gums stick to the side, your cheeks stick to the side of your teeth or something like that. That's a
Yeah.
little bit of that is what I felt.
Yeah,
So did it shock you a little bit?
It did, because I expected it to be a sweeter wine.
Well, as a young red wine, it's typical in that it has a lot of tannic acid as part of the grape skins impart that, and what she's describing is exactly the way that most people perceive it. Yeah.
So this might be an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's a pretty bold red wine. It's pretty oomphy. It's got a lot of character, and it's got a lot of acidity, and probably is young yet. It's the kind of wine that may be much better in a couple of 2-3 years.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Last one here. What did you think?
I preferred the first one. I agree with what they've been saying about this. The first one I really liked.
You really liked. Okay, and this one you didn't care for too much? You
No.
finished it, though. There's not a drop in there.
I finished it.
Well, thank you very much. Everyone give Greg Giorgio a hand. Once again, how can we contact you if we want to?
You can contact me by email at ggwob56@yahoo.com. And if you want to see the Altamont Wine School schedule of classes, it's on Facebook, Altamont Wine School on Facebook.
Okay, once again, Greg Giorgio. We have one more tasting to go, so you don't want to miss it. We will be right back.